Hi Gemini, welcome to your mid-March general love readings. This is your girl Mermaid Scales Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a general love reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Gemini. This is a general reading, so please keep that in mind. To only take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't for someone else who needs to hear this message. Hi cross-watchers, you're very welcome here if you're interested in a Gemini. Who wouldn't be? I'd like to remind Gemini and cross-watchers that energy is fluid. This simply means you may feel like I'm describing a certain situation in the reading where you feel the roles are flipped or reversed, and that's completely okay. You're more than welcome to use your own discretion to flip those roles if that resonates with your specific situation the best. Alright Gemini, let's go ahead and get your reading started. I'm first going to use my sound bowl to clear and set the energy. So let's go ahead and take a moment to breathe in and tune into the energy of Gemini. All right, let's go ahead and see what's happening for my Geminis in the month of March, from now to the end of March. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is going on for you guys? This is a mid-month check-in. What is the energy surrounding Gemini right now? Ooh. Okay, Gemini, we have heart-to-heart conversations. And it says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay, so just a side note, when I was using the sound bowl tuning into the energy, I very strongly saw a scorpion. So of course that could mean Scorpio energy. You could be dealing with a Scorpio or someone with strong Scorpio in their chart, but I felt it as very persistent, very passionate, very intense energy between you and someone else that surrounds your psychic energy, whether you're together or apart from this person, in separation with this person. That intensity is still very much there. And I feel with this heart-to-heart conversation, someone's finally going to speak on it. Someone is finally going to put it all out there about how they feel in an honest way. Maybe honestly discussing where they can see this going, what they want from this. And it feels almost as if for a while someone didn't feel comfortable putting it out there because they didn't know how they really felt. They didn't know what they really wanted. But I think this intensity between the two of you that has been growing is something that can't be denied by either of you. It's something that really needs to be expressed between the two of you because it's building up and I feel the tension. So let's go ahead and get more from this energy here. Okay, tell me more about this intense energy. You both feel it. It's not one-sided, but I wonder if someone is a little bit more annoyed by the fact that someone just doesn't speak on it. You know, it's like so undeniable what it is, but someone wants to act like it's not that way. I don't know. Let's see. Tell me more about this energy that's going on in Gemini's love life. Okay. Integrity. Ooh. Does this situation align with your values and morals? So I feel like someone's kind of done with the sidestepping, with the unspoken, and I feel someone just wants to come out and say it. Someone just wants to come out and be real. And I think that even if for some of you, I'm hearing you've already had this conversation, and I'm seeing it through text messages, like back and forth, long text messages going with each other. I almost feel as if you just had to get it off your plate, or someone did, because I mean, maybe the fact that someone feels as if this has been going on long enough and nothing has changed is something to address. Someone, I feel, almost hit a breaking point. And maybe it was just from someone bailing out on plans. Maybe it was from someone just going ghost for a little bit. So finally, it just all came out. And I'm almost hearing like word vomit, just everything spilled out. And I think it's really showing the other person who exactly you are and what you are going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. And I even think with this heart-to-heart conversation, if you look at this image here, if you need to pause it, go right ahead. But you see this woman trying to talk to this man that's like stone-faced, ice-cold, poker face going on. That's the person that needs to open up. And it's almost as if this is your last chance. I'm not going to wait anymore. I put it all out there. I told you what I need. I told you what I want. Now the ball's in your court to decide what to do with it. That's the energy I'm getting from all this. So let's see. What does this person want to tell Gemini that they haven't told Gemini? I wasn't ready to connect. I am so sorry. Whoa. Okay. You know, Pisces and Virgo kind of had some reconciliation vibes. I wonder if someone is coming in to say they're sorry because they didn't open up. They didn't trust. They were emotionally unavailable. And it just made you walk away, Gemini. That's how it feels here. And because they didn't see it before, they really didn't expect that once you were gone, you would be gone. You wouldn't be calling, you wouldn't be texting, you wouldn't be curious about what they're doing. I almost feel like some of you muted their number or muted their social media in some way. But I almost feel, Gemini, for some of you, this person wants to tell you they're sorry. They're sorry that they didn't follow through with this connection, especially because the intensity hasn't faded away between the two of you. But now that this person may be coming back or reaching out or calling or whatever it is, I feel this is a bit unexpected. I feel for you that you were just prepared to kind of clean your hands off of it and just let it go. But I wonder, Gemini, if this person's return or if they already have returned, you're kind of wondering if this really fits your needs anymore. I do feel an apology for a lot of you, which I think you are going to appreciate to some extent, but doesn't matter anymore. Let's go ahead and see. With the tarot, I'm going to ask, how do they feel about you right now? What do they think of you? What do they like about you? What do they not like about you? What do they like about the connection they have with you currently? And what do they not like about it? And what are their highest hopes and deepest fears in regards to this connection with you, Gemini? What are they really hoping is going to happen and unfold between the two of you? And what are they afraid of? Ooh, I'm hearing the song by Justin Timberlake. What goes around, goes around, goes around, goes around, goes all the way back around, yeah. I think this person's really understanding their karmic effects on this situation. Maybe by thinking that they could take the situation for granted, take you for granted. They really didn't think that that was going to be the end game for you, Gemini. There was a lot they weren't ready to talk about. There was a lot they weren't really ready to express or confront to themselves, let alone you. I see that very clearly here. Yeah. But now they feel ready to step up. Now that they sense you're drifting away, if you haven't already left, they don't want you to go. They're afraid the fire's died out between the two of you, the intensity, the passion that was so strong from the beginning. It's like they're afraid you're not letting that rule your deciding factor if you want to continue this or not. Bottom of the deck, we have the shadow, which in traditional tarot is the devil. Capricorn energy, you could be dealing with a Capricorn or someone with strong Capricorn in their chart. Does not have to be the case. There is a lot of shadow energy that was going on within someone, a lot of fears about commitment, a lot of fears about opening up, being vulnerable. And unfortunately, they let their fears be the operating system of this situation. Now, with that Scorpio energy, that Scorpion I was seeing in my vision in the beginning of the reading, I felt almost an obsession. Okay, and I didn't want to really talk about it and dig deep into it, but here it's coming up, so I'll talk about it. I feel that Gemini, at a point, maybe for some of you guys, you really wanted this to work, so you really tried, but when you saw it wasn't going anywhere, and you saw that this was taking more time and energy than what you wanted to expend on this, you kind of dropped it. And maybe you were at first the person that would always initiate conversation. You were the first that would always hit them up, see what they were up to, but they weren't doing the same for you. So you kind of just dropped it. And with this shadow side, it upset their ego. And I think as the silence continued with you kind of just staying silent, or even if you did remove them from following you on social media, or if you did kind of just stop replying to them, their messages were left on read and stuff, it started to develop this very strong need to refigure themselves out. And in the meantime, when that silence was going on, they were starting to check your social media a lot more than they usually would. And if you don't have social media, then they were definitely starting to think about you a lot more. And the intensity of their thoughts kept on growing and growing. And that's why it's hitting this boiling point. But yeah, with this Devil card here, in the past, they were just very much in their shadow. They were very much in their ego. And that's what sabotaged this connection. The thing different about you, Gemini, that I'm seeing here very clearly is that you are not going to play into the ego. Other people in their life would. I don't know why I'm feeling like overbearing mother or very overprotective mother that someone may have. Maybe that's why they're used to people catering to them, but you didn't do that. You didn't give them that ego boost. You didn't give them that constant validation. If it wasn't working for you, you cut it. And I see that with the Queen of Swords here, which we'll get to in a second. And by the fact you didn't give in, it made them want you even more and more. But I do feel even someone facing this shadow side. That's why they're kind of admitting that they did wrong and that they are sorry. I think they are realizing that they messed up big ways with you, Gemini. And I think that their ego got the best of them. And I think they're starting to see the patterns and behaviors that keeps on putting them in this block and this sabotage that they keep finding themselves in love and romance. There was a lot of karma that was meant to be resolved within this connection between the two of you. Now with the Devil too, because I'll just mention it here, there's very strong sexual energy, very strong with the Devil. And maybe some of you were kind of worried if this whole situation was based on sexuality more than romance, more than something that was deeper than just physical sexual lust. I think the sexual energy was very strong and you felt it, and it definitely kind of carried you away at times. But when you saw that that may have been the only binding situation between the two of you, or were afraid that that was the only thing binding you two together, that was something that you wanted to drop. Someone is very good in bed though, okay? And that's what someone may still think about. And someone may use their sexuality quite a bit to persuade or to convince. And that is something that may have kept this karmic cycle going on between the two of you. I'm seeing a black couch, particularly like black leather or suede in someone's living room. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. How they feel about you is judgment, but in this deck it's labeled as karma. So fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, also Scorpio energy for me as a reader here. So with judgment, it's always about revelations. It's always about second chances, renewals, new beginnings. But new beginnings as far as something that they want to kind of put all out there to leave the past behind and to grow something new out of this, like another chance, let's say. And I do feel, Gemini, that they want another chance with you. They thought it would be easier to just kind of let this sabotage continue and happen, but as they sat and as the intensity of wanting to reach out to you grew, as the obsession over you a bit, I gotta say, for some kind of grew, it was inevitable that this person was eventually going to give in and admit. And I think, Gemini, there's something very strong here that I'm seeing, that you are definitely the catalyst to their own spiritual growth. And this picture is even an eclipse, right? Eclipse energy, when that happens, is a lot about purging and working with the shadow and releasing the shadow. And for some of you, I gotta say, like, some of these behaviors that they were doing in the way that they would communicate their love or receive love was very much inherited to them through generational traumas, through the way they were raised. Either, you know, their mother or a parent figure, I'm picking up on mother, but could be anyone, was very smothering, very overprotective, and it kind of made them afraid of love because it did make them feel free in being themselves. Or it could even be that someone had a parent growing up that may have had addictions, may have neglected them, may have abused them, so they didn't really trust love in a sense. But it took this connection with you for them to really understand how those darker energies, those devil energies, were just being projected into this situation that was unjust. Maybe they just assumed you were going to be a player. They assumed you were going to be a cheater. They assumed you were just going to walk all over them. And that wasn't the case, Gemini. And it took you kind of leaving the situation for them to really understand that. But what they think about you is the Eight of Cups, Pisces energy. So for a lot of you, I do feel you were the ones to walk away. You were the ones to kind of just pull your energy out. You didn't find this emotionally fulfilling at all, especially for those that felt like they always had to keep trying and just being patient and waiting. You saw there was no good coming out of that, staying in this. So they've missed you a lot since you've walked away. They've missed you being in their lives, and they still think about you. They still wonder what you've been up to, how you've been doing, and they still feel a longing for you with this Eight of Cups. And they feel bad that their own shadow side, their own vices, their own lower vibrational energies pushed you away, Gemini, because they didn't want that, but it manifested that way through their own actions. What they like the most about you is the Page of Swords. Air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Now with the page here, you could be much younger than them, and they find that to be very attractive. I feel with this Page of Swords, though, they find you to be very intelligent, very witty, very cunning. You are someone who articulates themselves very well, who is straight to the point. Someone that always likes to learn. They loved having conversations with you because you really got them thinking about politics, philosophies. I'm even hearing history. Someone could be very much into history, studying history, historical conversations. I do feel too, Gemini, though, for others of you that did walk away, you've held your ground in staying silent and not reaching out. And they're really seeing how serious you are and how much you hold yourself to a standard that you're not going to break just because you miss them, just because maybe you're feeling lonely or whatever it is. You stayed quiet, you stayed silent. And I think, Gemini, with the way you communicate, you're very effective. And what I mean by that is you have a lot of power behind your words. You say a lot of things that stick with people for a very long time. Someone could be a writer, a journaler, a blogger. And if they've read your work, they think you're very talented with your writing, your communication, and your skills. Someone could also be into marketing, communications, customer service, management, or at least starting to study that type of, starting to learn to be in that position of management in their company, apprenticing almost, it feels like. But with this Page of Swords, for others of you, if that's not so much the case, they have been spying on you, and they like the fact that they have that access to your social media. If you don't have social media, then it's a way of connecting with you energetically and keeping that energetic cord very strong by thinking about you. I feel also with this Page of Swords energy too, they may know where you work, they may know where you live. And I won't say they go as far as stalking you because I'm not feeling that. But they may drive by to see if your car is there. And maybe you've kind of thought that they did that and you never had confirmation. There's your confirmation for you. What they don't like about you is the Three of Cups. Cancer energy. So some of you may have been going out a bit more, may have been hanging out with friends. You may post about it and they have FOMO. They wish they could hang out with you. They wish they could be there with you. They are afraid that you have been talking about this situation to your friends and what your friends may think of them now, or your close group, your circle. I'm even getting that some of you have a very close relationship to your siblings, your brothers, your sisters. And your brothers or sisters may not be fond of this person because of how they treated you. And they may have opinions about that are not favorable of this person. And maybe they never got along with your siblings. But with this Three of Cups, and almost for others of you, it seems like you are just living your life. You're doing well for yourself. You are going to certain events like concerts, parties, and it seems like you're having a great time. While they're kind of trapped in this longing for you, this yearning for you, wishing that they could tell you they're sorry, wanting to talk with you. It seems like you're just doing fine. What they like the most about this connection is the Queen of Swords, Libra energy. So when you guys were in connection, when you were talking, again, the conversations were always insightful. But you know, there's someone that could be a Libra that's watching this message, or you can have strong Libra in your chart, but Gemini. You're someone that they respect and always have. They never took you as something, even if you thought of it at times with the Devil card. They never thought of you as just someone that they would only want to hook up with and not see any future with. They definitely see that you are someone that has a lot of integrity, that has a lot of self-respect, that has a lot of honor. And you're someone that if the second you see yourself being used, you see yourself taking advantage of, you will cut it and you'll be real with it. They love how real you are. And the way you express yourself, it's almost as if this is me. I know I have flaws. I know I'm pretty great too. But take me or leave me. And that's how you've always been in this connection. And that's something they've always had respect for. Some of you could be a teacher. I usually don't get that with Queen of Swords, but I'm picking up on that now. Someone that teaches or someone that holds lectures. That type of thing. But what they don't like about you is the Hermit card, or like about this connection right now, currently. They feel the distance between the two of you, where it was once so passionate, where it once was exciting, but they get why. They don't think that this is unexplainable. They're not curious as to why you guys don't talk anymore. They know why. And they regret pushing you away. They regret not being brave enough, really, to be as authentic and real as you were. It shames them in a lot of ways. It puts them in a lot of guilt over it. They also feel very, very alone right now. They feel like they haven't been able to meet anyone like you that they've connected with. I don't even think that they really have been dating since you guys have stopped talking or since you guys have stopped being together. They haven't felt it was right to move on. But I think too, whatever work they've been doing to shed the ego, to shed the devil tendencies that they had, it has been very, very difficult. They had to look at themselves with some cold, hard truths that has been very subconsciously buried within them that they weren't ready to face, but they had no choice but to through this connection. And to me, with those awakenings, with those lessons and evolutions, it's very much leads to soulmate energy. And what I mean by that, I know a lot of people aren't aware of what I tend to believe of soulmates, which is not always the fairy tale Disney type of your love, one true love forever. Sometimes soulmates are people that we're introduced to in life that are not only just romantic, but anyone that we meet that kind of activates an awakening that leads us closer to our higher selves, to our true path. And I think you've absolutely done that for them, Gemini, although it was really, really hard for them to accept. It was hard for them to face. And so, you know, this whole process of awakening, this whole process of shedding, it's been very, very hard for them. And I think that's something you don't even know on the other side because you guys haven't communicated or talked. But they are very drained. They are very tired. They are very much missing you. And they're very upset at how it's kind of built up to this point where there's so much distance now. And I think too, if it's taken them a while to want to talk to you, they kind of beat themselves over making this separation last so long. They felt like they weren't courageous enough. That it's huge here, I see, in facing you and having this. But they know at this point that this is the only way, having a heart-to-heart conversation, an honest one, is the way to get you back, Gemini. Highest hopes is the Emperor. Aries energy. I feel divine masculine energy from this card here. Someone fully wanting and hoping that they can step up and do what's right. They do feel like they owe you an apology. They do feel like they owe you an explanation. And they're ready to be grown and face it and to come forward and to speak their truth. They want to be empowered by the experience. Even if you don't accept this, even if you don't want to be together with them, at least they'd be able to get it off their chest. And they'd feel like they have a lot more integrity. They feel like they'd have a lot more maturity and growth within them. But they're hoping they can fully step up and have this conversation with you to get it all out there and to pursue this with you. Because truly, I feel that they think the second chance could lead to something way more serious. They're ready now. They feel more ready now than before. Deepest fears is the Page of Wands in reverse. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. The passion's gone. The excitement's gone. You're just not interested. You are distracted. You are someone that isn't just looking at this as something that has a lot of potential, that gets you excited thinking about having this person. They're afraid of that. They're afraid too much time may have passed to where you've lost your excitement in this. I do feel, though, that if they were to try, in the upright, reaching out, excited, asking how you've been, it's been a while, I hope you're doing well, having high hopes, you just not even replying would bring all those high hopes down. It would kind of crush them to not even have the chance to clear the air with you, Gemini. If there is a huge age difference, big age difference between the two of you, this is just for a few of you, but I wonder if someone's afraid of not having as much of sexual activity in their lives as they used to. Almost like a bit of impotence going on here. That's been a concern and made someone feel insecure. And maybe that's why they pushed you away. Throwing that out there for someone, that is confirmation if you thought that. Anyway, Gemini, to see the likely outcome of this situation, what is likely to happen, are they going to do anything? Are they going to have this heart-to-heart conversation or let it fade away? We're going to go ahead and take this to Vimeo for the extended reading. If you'd like to join me for the extended reading, open up the description box and you'll find the link to Vimeo, which will take you to the extended reading. But this is where I depart, Gemini. I really hope that this reading has resonated with you. I hope it's provided you with clarity, insight, healing, guidance in regards to whatever it is you're going through in your love life at this time. And if it has, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Gemini, very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Gemini.